Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Village Guy. Those of you who are joining for the first time, here we chat to people from Paarl and Wellington, just doing amazing things, following their dreams and their passion, and to sprinkle a bit of inspiration on the youth and the kids here in Paarl. One of those individuals is Brittany McCormick. She got my attention a few weeks ago. She was in a few of the newspapers and a few of the international national magazines. It's just a bit about Brittany. She's a South African motivational speaker, and she was born with cerebral palsy. And she got my attention because she started a campaign to walk 100 kilometers to raise some funds for wheelchairs. She's going to tell me a bit more about that. But also, she's just had an admirable journey. She's spoken internationally, over 115,000 audiences virtually. And she's a Woman of the Month in the Justice League organization, the community. And also, she's spoken on international talk shows, Tina Show. She's spoken to motivational speaking in some of the international insurance companies. And she aims to not only be South Africa's top motivational speaker, but also an impactful member of the international motivational speaking community. I read a bio and I thought, why not speak to Brittany? Because her story is probably some form of inspiration to everybody, all walks of life. I spoke to her over the phone last week, and I think I chatted to her for 3 minutes, and just that conversation changed me forever. She changed me the way I think. And I just thought that inspiration needs to be sprinkled here in the Paarl Valley. So all the way from Paarl, Brittany McCormick. Good evening, madam.
Hello, how are you?
I can't complain. Thanks so much for joining. You're a very, very busy woman. And I just thought, let me hear the story about Brittany McCormick.
No, man, thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to come onto this platform and just share my story and a moment of impact.
Yeah, before we get into the serious things, how was the fundraiser for the wheelchairs? Tell me, why did you do it? Tell me what brought it to your mind, and how was it a success?
So, my wheelchair broke in December, and I had to be without it for about 2 weeks. And in that process, I was humbled, and I realized that there are people out there that can't afford to get them fixed or even can't afford to have a wheelchair. And this just struck a string within my heart, and I knew I had to do something. Um, and I got hold of Backer Buddy, and that was it. On the 4th of April, it began 100 kilometers, 75,000 Rand to be raised, and so the journey began. It is still ongoing. I have reached my 100-kilometer target, but I'm still walking to raise the rest of the funds. We're in need of 19,000 Rand, and I've walked about 144 kilometers so far.
Fascinating. And the wheelchairs, was it a success? How many wheelchairs are you aiming to do?
So the aim for the 75,000 Rand was to be able to buy at least 5 or 6 wheelchairs for the children or other necessities like food and oxygen supplies and things that the school may need. The school is Paarl School, Brackenfell. There are 350 children, some in need and some are not in need, but they do have a hospitalization area for the children as well. So I know however much money was raised will go directly to the school.
Awesome, madam. So, for those of the people that don't know cerebral palsy, tell us a bit more. Of course, you probably have a thesis about it, and you know a lot of detail about it. But just give me a normal layman's terms of cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy, the way I understand it, and the way I understand my level of cerebral palsy is that of a stroke patient. I do know that there are many levels of cerebral palsy, but I know that mine is that of a stroke patient. So the right side of my body has been affected. I was born at 25 weeks premature, and doctors didn't know if I would make it to the age of 18, and I was on 4% oxygen during that birth period. During the hospitalization period. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm intrigued as I read the article, and in the article it said that the doctors told your parents you'd never be able to walk, and in the next sentence we're reading, but Brittany McCormick is walking 100 kilometers. I mean, how does that happen?
To be honest with you, faith. The only way it happens is faith. Um, you know, I learned 2.5 years ago to walk on a treadmill, and if I tell you I was petrified, I was petrified. And the person walking with me at the time, or working with me more or less, she said to me, "Let's do this." And I argued with her, and I said, "No, not doing it." She said, "You are going to get on." And I said, "No, I'm not." And eventually she twisted my arm and she said, "Britt, get on." So I got on, and I was a shaking leaf, but I did it. And during lockdown, I said to my parents, "I've come so far, I can't stop now." That's where the Justice League organization actually got found. That was in, I think, 2020. And that's when I became Woman of the Month for them. I did a race. I did every race of the series that they had, right through from Superman to, I think the last one was The Flash. And it was a huge success. And yeah, ever since then, I haven't stopped walking. Um, Obviously not as consistently as now, but I don't aim to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, so explain to me what are we doing? So of course you're doing a lot of motivational speaking. Tell us a bit about that. How's that experience been? And yeah, just how do you say how's the world receiving you as a motivational speaker? Because it's not often that you get an international speaker um, on motivational speaking.
You know, I had always known from the young age of 14, 15, that I wanted to impact lives and I wanted to make a difference. And then in my early 20s, I got an opportunity to speak for a company. I had no training, nothing of such. And I went for it. Obviously, I had somebody helping me, telling me what to do and how to do it. And I knew after that the bug had bit. When they say you do things and the bug bites, you know that that's it. And I got off that stage and I knew that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And then I got hold of a program, and I took part in a program for about 6 months. And that's where they teach you to search for clients and do all those sort of things. And I actually landed up speaking on a YouTube platform in front of for 159 countries. But the most of the talks I've done is for organizations, some local and some international. The companies have all been local. None have been international as yet, but we're working towards that one step at a time. Creates the biggest milestones. So yeah.
So what keeps you motivated? Of course, we in a world where there's a lot of negativity. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you staying positive?
To be honest with you, it's just knowing and understanding, firstly, that I have an ability and accepting my disability for what it is, but being able to work with the process and saying, right, well, it's going to take me a little longer, but I can still get there at the end of the day. And doesn't matter how I get there, so long as I get there.
No, Fascinating. So, what are you? Do you have any plans for the next 3 months in terms of motivational speaking? I know in the DJ world they call it gigs. So, do you have any of those planned for the future?
I might have a few planned up my sleeve, but for right now, I'm just focusing more or less on the purpose walk and raising the rest of the funds, and we'll just see what happens. But if anybody wants to get hold of me, they know where to find me on Be Motivated or on my Facebook page. I'm open for bookings at the moment. I don't have anything uh, closed yet. I am still open for bookings, so I'm available.
um, Tell me, Brittany. So, what are the big dreams?
You know, the big dreams is to, it sounds simple, but it's so impactful, is just to make an impact and show that, you know what, anything is possible. Your abilities are not defined by your situation. You are so strong mentally and emotionally once you accept your situation. And it's just to continue making an impact and to obviously take ability and not the disability international. And as far as possible, just to teach people that are disabled and that are not disabled that no matter what you face, you can do this.
Do you enjoy writing? Do you have a blog? Where can people follow your journey? I know you've got a nice website. I looked at the website, very informative. But I mean, do you create content to create awareness?
So at the moment, I have a Facebook page that is being used for the campaign, but a lot of people see me walking and all that sort of thing on there. And then I do have a blog. I do blog write, that is on my website as well. So they can go ahead and check that all out and leave a comment. I do not yet have a YouTube channel. We're still building. We're still getting there. Rome wasn't built every day, but day by day. So one thing at a time.
No, perfect, madam. So I always have 10 questions I ask my guests, and I'm going to ask you these 10 questions. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes. Are you ready?
If you could invite three people for supper, they could be dead or alive, who would those three people be?
I think number one would be, you know, I don't know how to answer this. The number one would be Nick Vujicic. Number two would be Bethany Hamilton. Number three would be I don't know what Adam Sandler. Number four would be um, Chris Hemsworth. Number five would be Lance Armstrong. Number six would be
Wow, what a variety of people.
um, number seven would be Sandra Bullock. Number eight would be Justin Bieber, because growing up I loved him. Number nine would be uh, number nine. Number nine. Oh my word, you've caught me here. Number nine would
I'll be number
be.
9. Can I be number 9?
Yeah, you can be number nine. Number 10 will be a family member.
All right. I lost you with number 1 and number 2. From number 3 up to number 10, I know. But who's number 1 and who's number 2? Because they're probably the two most important.
Nick Vujicic, the gentleman without arms and legs, and
Oh,
most
right.
probably his wife, because you can't have him come and not his wife.
Yeah, okay, 100%. What movie is the last movie you cried in?
The Perfect Wave.
What's that about?
It's a Christian movie where a gentleman wants to be a surfer and his father is hesitant about it, and his father's like, no, you shouldn't go, you know, you need to get your life together and all that sort of stuff. And he decided, no, he's going to go. And he's going to surf the biggest one, some of the biggest waves in the world or in the country. And he was a wild man. He was really, really wild. And during the process of surfing on the ocean, he actually began to find Jesus, and then he was stung by a jellyfish. And when he was stung by the jellyfish, he actually died. And
Oh,
Jesus
wow.
brought him back to life.
Okay, right. Um, can you give me the series that everybody should be watching now?
At the moment, The Big Bang Theory, because it's absolutely hilarious.
Okay, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
uh, if you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
If I had a superpower, it would be to just continue spreading love, because everybody in life needs love, no matter any walk of life.
Okay, wow. And yeah, if there is one country and one stage or venue that you'd want to be a motivational speaker at, what is that country and where is the venue?
Well, the country is America, and the stage is Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wow. Crazy. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you were on stage and you could play any instrument next to any musician, who would it be?
If I could play any instrument next to any musician, um, who would it be? It would be Christian artist Carrie Joby.
And which instrument are we playing?
I think we would go for something little soft, but also little hyped up, which would be, because I mean the guitar and the electric guitar could be both. It could be relaxed, but also very, very hyped up.
Okay, perfect. What is the first app you open when you wake up in the morning?
What is the the first app? It would be WhatsApp.
Are we not on TikTok yet?
No, no,
No. Okay. Oh, not
not a
yet.
fan. Not a fan, ladies and gentlemen. Not a fan.
And lastly, you're on stage, you've got youngsters in front of you. Um, what is the message that you're going to give them today, in today's day and age, where we are today politically, where we are today economically? What is the message you're going to give them?
Every step creates the biggest milestone, and your values are not measured by your qualification. You
Wow.
are an incredible human being, and you should never allow anybody to tell you any less.
Wow.
Your abilities are the outcome to your achievements, big or small.
You are supposed to be starting a podcast. I'm waiting for that content.
Well, one step at a time. One step at a time.
And lastly, you have a billboard up in Paarl on the main road. Everybody sees it every single day. Brittany McCormick's face is there with a bubble, speech bubble. What is in that speech bubble?
Ability and not disability, because your ability are greater than your disabilities. Whether you are disabled or you are not disabled, it's up to you on how you see that perspective.
Wow. Okay. Brittany, where do people get hold of you? Where can people see your content? Where can they read your blogs?
So my website is bemotivated.co.za, but instead of the letter A, it's the number 8. My Facebook, Brittany McCormick, and LinkedIn, Brittany McCormick. And feel free to pop me an email, and I will greatly respond as soon as I can. They can also donate to the Purpose Walk. They can type in my name into Google, and it will come up immediately.
Madam, it was a pleasure chatting to you. I really enjoy your conversation, and I don't think this is going to be the last conversation between the two of us.
So then I will be seeing you soon, I suppose.
Yeah, keep us posted on the campaign so that people can know where they can get involved.
100%. And thank you once again for having me. It was an absolute pleasure and blessing to be here. I will chat to you very soon by the sounds of it.
Very, very soon.
Okay, great. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much, Brittany. We'll chat again soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yes, guys, that is Brittany McCormick. I'm going to add all her contact details, all her handles for social media. She's doing some incredible work, and I really want you to just go follow her, just to go see her journey, find out how you can get involved because she's really making a positive impact where she can. And Village Guy is all about positive impact. So thanks so much for joining us. And until next time, stay safe and goodbye.